Hey guys, how's it going? This is Mike from M&R Automotive. Today we have a 21 Ford Super Duty and we're installing the M&R reverse light kit. It offers powerful white light as well as either red or amber backlight feature. M&R kit, you're going to receive two dual function pods, you're going to receive two U-cradles, and you're going to receive some mounting hardware. So when looking under the bumper, you have two Torx bolts. They are T40. And we're gonna remove one of them. We're gonna thread it through the U-cradle and reinstall it. So now I'm gonna grab the cradle. I'm gonna reinsert the factory bolt through the cradle, and we're going to reinstall that same bolt onto the truck. So notice that the tabs of the cradle are facing towards the rear as I'm tightening the bolt. Awesome. So now we can install the light pod onto the cradle. So now I'm gonna use the supplied hardware to thread it through the pod into the cradle, and the bit that I'm using is 5/32. One thing I want to do when I'm securing the pod to the cradle, the back of the bumper is tapered, so and want them leveled, you want to lower the outside corner and raise the inside corner as you're tightening the bolts, and that's going to allow you to mount it. Alright, so when we tighten it down, you can see that the light is leveled. We're going to do the same thing on the driver's side. We're going to take out the inner bolt. You could also take out the outer one if that's your preference. We're going to slide it through the cradle, and we're going to reinstall the cradle bolt. So now I'm going to go ahead and tighten that factory bolt. Now I'm going to reinstall the pod to the cradle using supplied hardware. That's two. And same thing, because of the design of the bumper, the light actually wants to go with it. So what we're going to do, well, as we tighten it, we're going to raise this side up and raise this side down to make it level as we're tightening it. Alright, awesome. So now let's go over the wiring. So now I'm going to go ahead and fuse both these lights together. What I'm going to do, I'm going to go over the frame, and the main reason why I want to do that is so that way there's no wires hanging. This way it gets over the frame. I'll do that on both sides. Go. And what I want to do is connect two blacks, two reds, and two white wires. So the black wire is the ground, the red wire is going to be the main function of the light, which is white, and the white wire is the power for the backlighting feature, which you get to choose either red or amber. So let's go ahead and put some crimp connectors on here. Alright, so I'm going to put some crimp connectors on here. And after we're done with the project, I'm going to add some heat to these so that way they shrink up and create a watertight connection. So now the next step is to actually provide a ground and two power sources to our lights. M&R does not provide wiring for that. You're going to have to source that yourself. We are using just a bundle of wire that we sourced on Amazon. This is 14 gauge wire, and it is a 2-strand, meaning it does provide two powers. So we're going to actually go red to red and extend it to the auxiliaries. But on this side we couldn't source cable that had a white strand, so we're going to go transition from the white cable and run it down to black. And that's going to give us the two powers. So with one auxiliary switch we'll be able to turn on our white lights, and with one auxiliary switch we'll be able to turn on our backglow feature. For the ground, I made a little grounding strap. So all it is just a piece of wire with an eyelet on here, and I'm going to actually connected to the black wire. And we can use any bolt in the back of the bumper. So for example, let's say we're going to use one of these bolts. So I'm going to remove this factory bolt. I'm going to slide it through our eyelid, and we're going to reinstall the same bolt. Okay, so now that we have this kit grounded, we have these two power wires that we need power for. Go to the front of the vehicle and try to extend the wire to here. Alright, so let's start with the front of the truck, and I'm going to show you how I'm going to route this wire towards the rear. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and get some wire slack, feed my wire down this fender, and I'm going to reach in on the bottom and grab it. So I'm going to go ahead and feed this wire in the bottom. And let's see if I can fish it out. So when looking in this opening, I can see the wire. I'm just going to have somebody twist it and guide it so that way it drops down. More, we're doing a lot. Alright, so here I got the wire. Now I'm going to go ahead and stretch it towards the rear. So I'm going to go ahead and follow the factory harness and go over the body mounts, so that way I can zip tie this wire to the factory harness. It makes it a lot easier. Okay, here's another body mount. It just keeps everything nice and tight. So where the cab ends and the truck bed starts, I'm going to actually hop over the rail, so that way we'll take the wire on the inside of the rail. And there we go. And we're going to continue following the rail all the way back around the exhaust. Make sure that the wire is not near the exhaust, or else the wire sheathing can melt. So you just want to route it and make sure you use plenty of zip ties to keep it nice and tight to the frame rail. Alright, so I'm over the axle and I am over the exhaust. So now we have the two power sources to the back of the truck. I'm going to go ahead and take off the sheathing. And all I got to do is crimp red to red, and we're going to transition from white cable to black. So that way we can connect those two wires in the engine that's already in our engine bay directly to auxiliaries. So red to red and black to black. So don't forget to use plenty of zip ties and make sure that the wire is as far away from the exhaust as possible, because it does get warm. And let's go in the engine bay and connect the other end of this wire to our auxiliary switches. So now we're back in the engine bay, and I'm going to cut the wire from the reel, and we're going to connect it to our auxiliary hookups. I'm going to go ahead and strip the two wires, and we're going to use crimp connectors to connect to auxiliary wires. So number one, number two, and from the auxiliary switches we choose switch 2 and 3. So I'm going to connect a red cable to the violet with the orange stripe, and then we're going to connect the black wire to the blue with green stripe, and that's going to be the DRL. Alright, excellent. Let's go ahead and test it. So if we hit switch number 2, we get the powerful white light, and if we hit switch number 3, we get the red backglow. So the backglow function is not connected to any brake lights, it's just always on. If you want better visibility, you could choose either red or amber. So let's go ahead and turn the reverse light again, and let's go backlighting. Looks amazing. Thank you guys for watching. I know you guys are going to love this product.